Hello, future medical professionals. Welcome to Synapse, your ultimate NEET preparation platform. Today, we are diving into an incredibly vital topic from Class 11 Biology, digestive glands. These unsung heroes work tirelessly behind the scenes to break down your food and make its nutrients available. We'll explore these fascinating organs from the basics to the most advanced concepts, ensuring you're fully prepared for any challenge. Let's embark on this four-level journey of discovery. Ready to unravel the basic secrets of how your body breaks down food? Let's start with the easy level. Digestive glands are specialized organs or groups of cells. Think of them as tiny factories within your body, producing and secreting essential substances. Their primary job is to break down the food you eat, whether it's carbohydrates, proteins, or fats, into smaller, absorbable forms. These glands are strategically located, mainly along your alimentary canal, which is the long tube food travels through, from your mouth to your anus. They ensure that the chemical digestion of your food happens efficiently. There are several key players among digestive glands. In your mouth, we have the salivary glands, which produce saliva to kickstart digestion. In your stomach, gastric glands secrete strong digestive juices. The liver, the body's largest gland, produces bile, crucial for fat digestion. The pancreas, located behind your stomach, is a versatile gland, producing a wide array of enzymes. Finally, the intestinal glands in your small intestine complete the digestive process. For example, when you bite into bread, salivary glands release amylase, beginning to break down its starch. Now, let's test your understanding with some easy-level practice questions. Take a moment to think about these. Question 1. Which of the following is not a major digestive gland? Question 2. What is the primary function of salivary amylase? And question 3. Which digestive gland produces bile? Good luck, and remember to pause if you need more time to answer. Fantastic! You've mastered the basics. Now, let's delve a little deeper into the intricacies of digestive glands at the medium level. Digestive glands are accessory organs that aren't part of the main food tube but are vital. They secrete digestive juices containing enzymes, acids, and buffers, which are crucial for breaking down complex food molecules. We can broadly classify them into major glands like salivary glands, the liver, and the pancreas, and minor ones such as gastric and intestinal glands. Each plays a distinct role, working in harmony to ensure efficient nutrient extraction from your meals. Let's look at specific glands. Salivary glands, 3 pairs in your mouth, secrete saliva containing salivary amylase to start carbohydrate digestion and lysozyme for antibacterial action. In your stomach lining, gastric glands release gastric juice with hydrochloric acid, which activates pepsinogen for protein digestion and intrinsic factor for vitamin B12 absorption. The liver, your body's largest gland, produces bile, stored in the gallbladder. Bile salts within bile emulsify fats, preparing them for enzyme action. Moving on, the pancreas is a fascinating mixed gland. Its exocrine part secretes pancreatic juice, rich in bicarbonate to neutralize stomach acid, and powerful enzymes like amylase for carbs, lipase for fats, and inactive forms of protein-digesting enzymes such as trypsinogen. These are activated in the small intestine. Finally, the intestinal glands in the small intestine secrete succus entericus, or intestinal juice, which contains enzymes like disaccharidases, peptidases, and intestinal lipase, completing the digestion of all major food components. Time for some medium-level practice questions to solidify your knowledge. Think carefully about the roles and secretions of each gland. Question 1. Which cells of the gastric glands secrete hydrochloric acid? Question 2. What is the primary role of bile in digestion? Question 3. Name the enzyme that activates trypsinogen in the small intestine. Question 4. Which component of saliva has antibacterial properties? And question 5. What is the function of bicarbonate in pancreatic juice? Take your time and good luck. Excellent work. Now, let's elevate our understanding further with the hard level, exploring deeper functional aspects and clinical connections. At a microscopic level, digestive glands exhibit remarkable cellular specificity. For instance, salivary glands have serous cells for enzymes and mucus cells for mucin. Gastric parietal cells are packed with intracellular canaliculi, maximizing HCl secretion, while chief cells are dedicated to enzyme synthesis. Pancreatic acinar cells, arranged in clusters, are powerhouses for digestive enzyme production, while ductal cells focus on bicarbonate secretion. The liver's hepatocytes, arranged in lobules, are central to bile production and numerous metabolic functions. The regulation of these secretions is a complex interplay of neural and hormonal signals. The vagus nerve, part of the parasympathetic system, generally stimulates increased secretions across most glands. Conversely, the sympathetic system often inhibits them. Hormonally, gastrin from gastric juices boosts stomach acid. Secretin from the duodenum triggers bicarbonate-rich pancreatic juice and bile. CCK, also from the duodenum, stimulates enzyme-rich pancreatic juice and gallbladder contraction. These hormones ensure secretions are precisely timed and dosed for optimal digestion. Enzyme activation is a finely tuned process. Many proteolytic enzymes, like pepsinogen and trypsinogen, are secreted in inactive forms to prevent the self-digestion of the glands. Pepsinogen becomes active pepsin in the stomach's acidic environment. Trypsinogen, however, needs entropeptidas from the intestinal mucosa to become trypsin. Once active, trypsin then activates other pancreatic proenzymes. Furthermore, bile salts are not enzymes but are indispensable for fat digestion. They emulsify fats, greatly increasing the surface area for lipase action, highlighting the synergism between different secretions. Bicarbonate's role is crucial for neutralizing stomach acid, providing an optimal pH for intestinal enzymes and protecting the duodenal lining. Now, let's tackle some hard-level questions that require a deeper understanding. Question 1. Describe the cellular basis of HCl secretion in gastric glands. Question 2. Explain the role of entropeptidas in protein digestion. Question 3. How does secretin primarily affect digestive gland secretions? Question 4. Differentiate between the functions of serous and mucus cells in salivary glands. Question 5. What are the consequences of impaired bile salt production on digestion? Question 6. Briefly explain the importance of bicarbonate in pancreatic juice. And question 7. How does Zollinger-Ellison syndrome impact gastric gland function? Good luck! You've journeyed through the complexities, and now it's time for the ultimate challenge. Welcome to the hardest level, where we'll explore the cutting-edge science and competitive depth of digestive glands. Let's dive into the molecular mechanisms governing secretion. In parietal cells, HCl secretion is driven by the H plus K plus ATPase, or proton pump, a fascinating molecular machine. This pump actively exchanges hydrogen ions for potassium ions, creating the highly acidic environment of the stomach. Its activity is meticulously regulated by neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, hormones like gastrin, and paracrine factors like histamine. Pancreatic acinar cells, on the other hand, synthesize digestive enzymes within their extensive endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus, packaging them into zymogen granules for regulated release via exocytosis, primarily stimulated by the hormone CCK. The regulation of gastric secretion involves sophisticated feedback loops across three distinct phases. The cephalic phase, triggered by sensory input like the smell or sight of food, prepares the stomach even before food arrives, mediated by the vagus nerve. The gastric phase, initiated by food entering the stomach, involves local reflexes and gastrin release, accounting for the bulk of acid secretion. Finally, the intestinal phase, as chyme enters the duodenum, initially provides some stimulation but quickly becomes inhibitory, releasing hormones like secretin, CCK, and GIP to slow gastric activity and allow the small intestine to process the incoming chyme efficiently. This multi-phase control ensures optimal digestion and protection. Comparative physiology reveals remarkable adaptations in digestive glands across species. Ruminants, like cows, possess specialized salivary glands that produce vast amounts of bicarbonate-rich saliva, essential for buffering the rumen's acidic environment generated by microbial fermentation. Interestingly, they lack salivary amylase. Carnivores, such as cats, have smaller salivary glands and minimal salivary amylase, reflecting their protein-centric diet and reliance on highly acidic gastric juice. Birds, with their unique proventriculus for enzyme secretion and gizzard for mechanical grinding, demonstrate adaptations for processing unchewed food. These variations highlight how digestive gland structure and function are exquisitely tailored to an organism's specific dietary needs and evolutionary pressures. Genetic and developmental insights further underscore the complexity. Digestive glands originate from endodermal outgrowths of the primitive gut tube, with their precise formation guided by intricate signaling pathways and transcription factors. A prime example of a genetic disorder affecting these glands is cystic fibrosis, where a mutation in the CFTR gene impairs chloride transport. This leads to thick, dehydrated secretions that obstruct ducts in the pancreas, liver, and salivary glands, severely compromising digestion and causing organ damage. Furthermore, the enterohepatic circulation of bile acids is a critical homeostatic mechanism, efficiently recycling bile salts between the liver and small intestine, minimizing de novo synthesis and impacting cholesterol metabolism. Understanding these mechanisms is crucial for developing therapeutic interventions, from enzyme replacement therapy to advanced bioengineering approaches for artificial glands. All right, champions, brace yourselves for the first set of hardest level questions. These demand deep analytical thinking. Question 1. Explain the role of H plus K plus ATPase in gastric acid secretion and its pharmacological inhibition. Question 2. Describe the sequence of events and regulatory molecules involved in the activation of pancreatic proteases. Question 3. Compare and contrast the adaptations of salivary glands in ruminants versus carnivores. Question 4. Discuss the molecular basis of cystic fibrosis impact on pancreatic exocrine function. Question 5. Elaborate on the enterohepatic circulation of bile acids and its physiological significance. Good luck! And now, for the final set of challenging questions. Question 6. Analyze the integrated neural and hormonal regulation during the cephalic and gastric phases of gastric secretion. Question 7. How do GIP, secretin, and CCK collectively regulate gastric and pancreatic function during the intestinal phase? Question 8. Propose how genetic factors could influence an individual's susceptibility to pancreatitis. Question 9. Discuss the potential of bioengineering artificial digestive glands for therapeutic purposes. And question 10. Explain how disruption of the enterohepatic circulation might affect both fat digestion and cholesterol homeostasis. Take your time, think critically, and apply all you've learned. You've successfully navigated the intricate world of digestive glands, from basic definitions to advanced molecular mechanisms. This journey has equipped you with a comprehensive understanding crucial for any ET. For more such in-depth content, practice questions, and personalized learning experiences, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous updates and more amazing educational content. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing towards your NEET success. See you in the next session.